This is footage from my first ever solo trip to Jeju Island in 2021. During the first few hours, it felt really unfamiliar and somewhat scary to be on holiday by myself. But after a while, I really started enjoying my own company. I did everything in my own time and allowed the stillness of the world to soothe my racing mind. I felt really inspired by my environment in solitude and took these videos with the idea that I'd birth a YouTube channel with them. Here I am, 3 years later, doing exactly that. Starting something new and seeing where the creation leads.
Oh my goodness, it's happening. My very first YouTube video. In the spirit of starting new things, in the spirit of exploring life and seeing where my curiosity leads me, I'm showing up to something that I've wanted to do for so many years now, but I've always just created these excuses in my head, like I don't have the right equipment, I don't have like the lighting figured out, all of these different excuses that we make to stop ourselves from doing things that we really want to do. So this morning I just like had a session with my fear. I sat down with it and I was just like, okay girl, what's going on? What is actually stopping you from showing up for this thing that you've wanted to do for so long? And after doing that, I'm just taking this big leap and doing this thing with you all. I think that, you know, somewhere in childhood, we're just like taught that we need to be the best, you know, and before we show up for something, before we do something, we must like have a whole plan figured out for how we're going to show up, you know, and we must be perfect at what we do. And this has just dictated my life for a very long time. My life has been I've been like on a solid like narrow path. I was on this path for a very big chunk of my life, and it wasn't until like I moved to South Korea 2 years ago and did something like so spontaneous and so out of the blue for me. But yeah, it wasn't until I did that I realized that there is actually so much like wonder and beauty in just throwing yourself into something new and seeing where it leads you. That's also why I started this video with snippets from my travels in South Korea, because they just like completely changed my outlook on life. And I'm just really like in a period, really in a time of allowing myself to get curious about where my thoughts take me, where my feelings take me, where my desires take me, and just allowing myself to be in that space, whether it's amazing and incredible or perfect, or whether it's just like, what am I doing here? You know, I think that there is always something to be learned from trying something new. There's always something to be learned from being curious. And this is why I'm here. You know, I want to see what showing up in this way is going to teach me, what it's going to do for me, and what it's going to do for my outlook on showing up in the world and like sharing my perspectives and sharing myself in the world, because a lot of that has just been influenced by social media. And I think I'm not, or like prior to taking my social media breaks, I took a few social media breaks, I wasn't showing up as authentically as I wanted to. So I just really had to sit with myself and see what it meant to show up authentically. And something that I think will help me show up more authentically is to choose to show up on a platform that's more just designed for longer pieces of information, just designed for you to like sit down and absorb and reflect on what the person is sharing. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what this channel is going to do for my outlook on sharing parts of myself. And thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to see what this channel becomes, what I'm going to learn from being here, and also what you're going to learn and take away from this experience. So welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm still deciding on a name. I don't have the name quite figured out yet. I might just make it my own name, you know, Lukile, just leave it at that. I'm Lukile, by the way. Yeah, so I might just make it my name. We'll see. At the end of this, by the time this gets uploaded, there will be a name for this channel. But yeah, welcome to my cozy, really exploratory space on the internet. Good morning. Today I am doing something really exciting. I am attending the first day of a 2-day glass blowing workshop. I've never done glass blowing before. This is literally my first time and I don't know what to expect, but it looks interesting because like I watch on Netflix, I watch Blown Away and it looks really awesome. So I'm like really excited to see what it's about. But I'm also feeling quite nervous. I've been feeling nervous since last night. I even had like a tiny nightmare about the whole experience. And I'm gonna like just do a little check-in with myself, see what's like causing me to be nervous, where my nervousness is in my body, and just see how it wants to be released. I kind of feel like I'm nervous because I really haven't gone out to do things by myself since I came back to South Africa, and that was about a year ago. So this is like my first time in a year that I'm like doing something on my own that isn't like yeah, so this is the first time that I'm doing something on my own that isn't like a lunch date or a cafe date or anything, but actually like activity based. And since coming back to South Africa, like I haven't really been feeling safe in my environment to go out much, especially after living in South Korea, which was like an extremely safe country, and I had like the ability to go out and do things on my own. But now that I'm like back in South Africa, I just like I've become like really scared of my environment. I mean, I get it, but also like I do need to live my life, you know, I do need to go out and explore and see the world. So I'm just going to spend some time like with myself, tuning in, and hopefully have a really good day.
Having a calming cup of tea and spending some sweet time in my body before leaving the house helps me ground myself in the present moment. With every breath, the anxiety and worry I have slowly slip away and more space is created for joy and ease. It's in these moments of stillness that I'm reminded of how much I actually love exploring and meeting new people. It's in these moments where possibility and awe are created within. I just arrived at where I'll be doing the glass blowing. I'm like the first person here. I always like arrive early when I go out because I just get like really anxious about arriving late. And I just like took some time to walk around and just get familiar with my surroundings, just like help myself feel safe, help myself feel grounded and good. And yeah, it's gonna start in like something like 20 minutes. Can't believe I'm actually doing this, like glass blowing. Are you serious? I wonder what this day has in store, what I'm going to create, what wants to be created, and just really allow myself to have fun with it and allow myself to just see what happens. I can't choose. Which ones? So today I'm celebrating World Tai Chi Day at a local family-owned farm. It's really beautiful. They're trying to like live off the land and be as self-sufficient as possible. And so they also just opened their center for Tai Chi and Qigong. So I just spent the day here just making art with people, just practicing Tai Chi, and we're about to take a walk and take a tour of the farm. And I'm currently sitting in like the medicinal herb garden, which is so peaceful and just so grounding. Other people, so I'm like. I made myself some really refreshing mint tea for our little post glass blowing and post Tai Chi update. So it's actually like, it's been a few months. It's been a few months since I went glass blowing, and the Tai Chi, I think I went to the Tai Chi event about 4 weeks ago, a month ago. So yeah, I've been like in this really contracted period where I've just wanted to stay in my shell, not really like film anything, just like be in like my tiny little cozy body for a while. And honestly, like, I've loved it. I've really loved being just me, just by myself, but I'm slowly starting to like leave that little shell, and filming the rest of this video is me doing that. So yes, glass blowing, oh my goodness, glass blowing it wasn't actually glass blowing, it was glass molding, where we like took pieces of glass and like put them over a fire and tried to make something with them. I made these mushroom earrings, and I also made like this really cute snail, which was completely unintentional. Like when I was starting out, it was supposed to be just a seashell, just a plain old seashell, but the glass had other plans for me. And it ended up being this snail, which I honestly love so much. And I'm not the biggest fan of snails because they keep eating like everything in my garden. So not the biggest fan of snails, and I think it's really funny that what I happened to create was like this tiny little snail that I love so much. And honestly, I put it in one of my pot plants just there by the soil, and every time I look at it, it's just like a little reminder to just be easy on myself and take my sweet time with whatever it is that I do, because I mean, the universe is out here like working on its own time. Everything in nature is just going at its own pace, and I want to do the same, and I'm trying to do the same. So this snail is just a reminder of that, and I think it's perfect because even the timing of this video, like, it's taken me months to complete this thing, which has worked for me, which has worked for my system, which has felt good in my body. So yeah, shout out to the snail, shout out to taking my time, and in the spirit of like discovering, trying new things out, I think it's really important that slowness just came to me in this way, just came to me in this creative way. Also with the Tai Chi, like, I've never done Tai Chi before. Qigong, don't do that often. Yeah, so I don't do either of these things, and both of them are like really slow. They both incorporate really slow movements, and I felt sensations in my body that, wow, I've never felt before. I felt like muscles that feel like they've been asleep like for so long, and it's in that like slow movement that I got to feel all those tiny sensations, you know. It's in that slow movement that I got to just experience this slow sensual pleasure. And I think like that's my biggest takeaway from exposing myself to new things, is that in the past, like whenever I try new things, I always like just throw myself into something and just like I'd be doing it like every single day, like reading up on it as much as possible, just like this really rushed experience with something new. And over the past few months, I've really taken my time, and it's felt so good for my nervous system. It's felt so good in my body to just be slow, you know, because in that way I get to appreciate everything around me. I get to take in all these little things that I usually wouldn't take in. So yeah, I think that's the little gift that newness has given me, just the fact that I'm allowed to take my time, and you're allowed to take your time too. Like, we live in a really fast-paced, really rushed world, but there is a different way, and we don't have to live in those ways. So yeah, feeling really grateful for the experiences that I had, feeling really grateful for the sensations that they brought me, and the continued slowness that I want to incorporate into my life, especially with this channel. I want to take my sweet time over here. Thank you for watching this very first video of insert channel name here. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down. We'll see what this unfolds into.